appreciate what you do for others and all the terrific work that you're doing.
Be careful what you say, because that'll pick it up.
Let me rehearse my worst thoughts.
Just thought I'd forewarn you.
Hello, everyone. Again, I'd like to welcome you to. We're going to start this program out with the Pledge of Allegiance and then the 4-H pledge. So if you all could stand up and join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living for my club, my community, my country, and my world. Okay, have a seat. I am Julie Eisner, Adams County Extension Assistant, and beside me here is Holly Alley. She is the Clay County Extension Assistant. I'd like to take a minute and tell you about Quilts of Valor. The foundation is made up of a group of volunteers of quilters from across the U.S., including Nebraska 4-Hers. The mission of the Quilts of Valor Foundation is to cover service members and veterans touched by war with comforting and healing Quilts of Valor. Quilts of Valor began in 2003 by Catherine Roberts, whose son was deployed in Iraq. Catherine says she felt 10 seconds away from panic as her son faced danger every day. In the middle of the night, Catherine Roberts had a dream. She says it was like a movie. The first scene of her dream was as vivid as real life. I saw a young man who was deployed somewhere in the world, sitting all hunched over on the side of his bed in the middle of the night. The feeling was one of utter despair. I could see his war demons clustered around, dragging him down into the emotional gutter. Then, as if viewing a movie, the scene changed. Catherine said, I saw him in the next scene, still deployed and sitting on a bed, but wrapped in a quilt. Someone back home was thinking of him and made him a quilt. His whole demeanor changed from one of despair to one of hope and well-being. The quilt had made this dramatic change. The message of her dream was, quilts equal healing. Catherine, being a military mom, a nurse, and a quilter, felt that making a quilt for soldiers was something she could do. She began making her first quilt, and thus Quilts of Valor Foundation was formed. As of today, Quilts of Valor Foundation has awarded 419,694 quilts. Wow, just wow, isn't that impressive? You might be asking yourself, how does this fit into the Nebraska 4-H program? Well, in the fall of 2011, a former extension educator, Eileen Crumbach, and I were talking about engaging our 4-H youth in community service projects. We tossed around a lot of ideas, and our conversation kept coming back to the military. Because of our passion for quilt making, our conversation led us to a challenge between Adams and York counties to see which county could make the most Quilts of Valor for the foundation. We did not stop there. We involved Phyllis Shaneholt, who was in charge of Quilt Quest at the State Fair. A committee was formed with extension personnel who had a passion for quilt making. This was the beginning of the Nebraska 4-H and the Quilts of Valor partnership. In 2011, 44 quilts were donated during our first State Fair Quilts of Valor program. and we were so proud of ourselves with donations from fabric companies, and quilt shops, communities, and individuals. The dream of donating quilts has grown. As of today, over 800 quilts have been donated by Nebraska 4-H. Each quilt has a monetary value of $300. That's quite an impact that the Nebraska 4-H youth have made. Interesting enough, Nebraska is the only state that involves youth in the Quilt of Valor program. Wow, go Big Red. However, it's not only the quilts that have the impact, it's the presentation of the quilt that pulls at your heartstrings. What a privilege it is to be able to wrap a veteran in love and welcome him or her home. It is our hope that this service project continues for many years to come. Now I'm going to have Allie go through the slides. These slides are slides of the quilts that were made this year. They are on display in the quilt room across in the 4-H exhibit hall. Please take time and take a look at it closer up.
Thanks, Julie. Yeah, like Julie said, we want to take a minute to really celebrate and show off the wonderful quilts of valor that were made during this last year from all of our 4-Hers and 4-H leaders, volunteers, and supporters throughout the state. They are on display here at the state fair. I wish we could have them here right now to present, but we have some pictures here to show you. Here are some of the recipients throughout the year that have received some 4-H quilts. Our first quilt is from Adams County, the 4-H Club. We have another one from Adams County, the Junior Leaders 4-H Club. We have Wanda Dovers from Adams County. From Fox County, the Golden Rod 4-H Club. From Buffalo County, the Creative Clovers 4-H Club, Arnold, Warren, and Lane. From Buffalo County, the Creative Clovers, Margaret, Carly, and Mia. Cheyenne Dawson from Cherry County. Kaylee Barnes from Cherry County. Ace Larson from Cherry County. Ruby Shelburne from Cherry County. Candace Swanson from Cherry County. Emerald Tenhouse from Cherry County. Colfax County, Lindley, Everett, Justin, Kara, Bailey, and Elise. Noel County, Adeline, Riley, Bristol, Kinley, and Ella. Adeline Barney from Sumner County. Clara Dewis from Gage County. Zach Dewis Tinley, Chanley, and Renee from Garden County. Green County, Alex, Braxton, Clara, Tyson, Megan, Sierra, and Hannah. Logan County, Whitley, Cindy. Vance County, Elena, and Melinda. Vance County, Josie Williams. Polk County, the Gospel 4-H Club. Polk County, Sawyer Munt. Addison Lighthouser from Polk County. Cameron Peterson from Polk County. Emma Peterson from Polk County. Holly Peterson from Polk County. Rebecca Wacker from Polk County. From Washington County, Erica Quilts. York County, Sabrina Boston. York County, Riley Ziegler. And that is all of our quilts. Like Julie said, they are in the 4-H building on display. I know those pictures don't do justice to really show the quality and talent and time that all of the youth took to put together with these quilts. If this is something that you would like to start in your 4-H club in your county, please reach out to us after the show or contact your local extension office and they can get in touch with us and we'll be happy to help you get a program started. So on behalf of the Quilts of Valor Foundation and in recognition of your service to this nation, it is a privilege and honor for us to honor you, Captain Dean Elliott, with this Quilts of Valor. Dean had a delayed entry. In April of 1986, when he was a senior in high school and 18 years old, he enlisted in the U.S. Army. He was in the Army in active duty in October of 1986. He attended basic training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and then on to the AIT in Fort Lee, Virginia. He was active during the Cold War era and was only stationed in the continental United States, spending most of his active duty time at Fort Lewis, Washington. He was attached to the 2nd Battalion, 9th Infantry Division, and did various trainings at Fort Lewis in the central Washington state at the Yakima Training Center, and in California's Death Valley at the National Training Center. When he was active in the U.S. Army Reserves, he continued where he was with an Arctic Light Infantry unit in Sioux City, Iowa, and later with the 103 Corps Support Command out of Des Moines, Iowa. During this time, in 1991, he was deployed to Germany in support of Operation Desert Shield and Operation Desert Storm in the First Gulf War. Also, as part of the training mission, he had the opportunity to later go to South Korea. He decided to get out of the military in 1997. Currently, his youngest son is with the U.S. Army Special Operations, currently living in Germany. While he was in the U.S. Army Reserves, he got married, completed his college education, and was hired on as a police officer for the city of Grand Island in September of 1993. He served as a police officer from 93 to 99 when he was promoted to police sergeant. In April of 2013, he was promoted to police captain. Finally, in September of 2024, he was reclassified as division chief with the Grand Island Police Department. Next month, he will start his 33rd year of employment with the Grand Island Police Departments.
We know that you left your home to serve our nation. We know that freedom is not free. And we want to thank you for your service and your sacrifice. The quilt is a gesture of gratitude from a grateful nation, from your neighbors, family, and friends. Often, when quilts of valor are made, they are sewn and quilted with prayer for our servicemen and women and veterans. Please use this quilt to keep you warm and feel comforted by it. Please do not put it in a box or on a shelf or in a closet. Keep it as a reminder of your service to our country and that it's truly appreciated. This quilt is from your family, your friends, and a grateful nation. It is to remind you that we care about you and welcome home. Please wrap the quilt around me. This quilt of valor says thank you for your service, sacrifice, and valor in serving the nation. This is not a charity quilt. A quilt of valor is not a blanket. If you're a quilter, you know a quilt consists of 3 layers held together by its quilting stitches. We like to think of the layers in this way. The top of the quilt with its many colors, shapes, and fabrics represent the communities and the many individuals we truly are. The binding, the filler, is the center of the quilt. It is warmth. It represents our hope that this quilt will bring you warmth, comfort, and peace and healing. The backing of this quilt is the strength that supports the other layers. It represents the strength of the recipient, the support of his or her family, our communities, and our nation. Each stitch that holds the layers together represent the love, the gratitude, and sometimes the tears of the maker. We hope that you keep this quilt as a reminder that there are thousands of men and women across this land who are forever in your debt, and that it is our pleasure to honor you with the quilt of valor. Please accept this quilt of valor from the Nebraska 4-Hers and welcome home, Dean. We would like to take a moment of silence to honor Dean and all his service members for their dedication to our great country. God bless each and every one of you that has served, and thank you so much.